Away from Nigeria now, some civil society organizations have vowed to bring a criminal case against President Jacob Zuma soon, and this comes on the eve of the Conference for the Future of South Africa scheduled to hold on Wednesday. Calls for the removal of the president are intensifying, with now more than 90 civil society groups scheduled to gather in Johannesburg to build a new front against state capture. Joining us now from South Africa is news analyst at ENCA station, Angelo Fick. Thank you very much for joining us again on TVC News. Tell us more about this civil society coalition and how formidable they are.
Well, this is a formation outside of the African National Congress, the governing party, which determines whether or not the president will serve out his term. Now, we know that there is a motion of no confidence vote in Parliament on the 8th of August, in which the governing party has indicated that they will not vote their president out, because that would be to vote the government out of power and new elections would have to be held. What we're seeing in the civil society organizations is pressure being put on the African National Congress to come to its own internal resolution outside of Parliament and to remove the president themselves, which is something that the party has indicated it is willing to do, not because it wants to do it, but it said if anybody is going to remove President Jacob Zuma from power, the party will do so, and it will not do so at the bequest or at the sort of request of opposition parties. So its opposition to the parliamentary process is because they say this was a motion put on by the political opposition. Civil society is trying to sort of pressurize sections of the African National Congress to show them that the majority of South Africans, the civil society organizations believe, actually want President Zuma out of power.
We've seen President Zuma survive a lot of impeachment plots now, and he still has at least 2 years more, or about 2 years more. Tell me how this threat against him is looking right now.
Well, partly, if he is in power after December, that will be determined by how the African National Congress's leadership race happens in December. The party has just had its national policy conference in which the divisions in the party became more and more visible. Its relationship with its alliance partners in the largest trade union federation, COSATU, and with the South African Communist Party has actually been at its weakest in 30 years, the party itself confessed. 2 days ago, the South African Communist Party indicated that as of 2019, it will contest the election separately from the ANC, which means that a substantial number of people who currently vote for the ANC will be able to vote for the Communist Party. President Jacob Zuma's survival as president of the country will be determined by which section of the African National Congress wins the elective conference in the party in December. If the chosen successor to President Jacob Zuma, the person he wants to replace him, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, the former AU Commission chairperson, becomes the president of the party, he is likely to serve out his term until 2019. However, if somebody else becomes the president of the party, they may require the party to remove him from power immediately after December. So all of this, President Jacob Zuma's future depends on what happens on 8th of August, and then what happens in December in his party. On the 8th of August, presumably he will survive the vote of no confidence because of the substantial majority his party enjoys in Parliament and the party's decision that they will not remove him from power through the parliamentary mechanism. But if in December the faction that is against him in the party wins the party's elective conference, he may be removed from power not just as president of the party, but as president of the country in the wake of that decision, given his own implications. Various issues in the country.
All right, Angelo, and then the issue that you hinted at the onset of this interview about, well, let me ask how much pressure Speaker Baleke Mbete is facing at the moment, especially as we see ahead of the August motion that will be deliberated upon. We see 7 parties already saying they would have the secret ballot system of voting. So how much pressure is she facing now, even as ANC says they will rather not have the secret ballot system?
Well, she'll be under pressure from the Constitutional Court judgment, which indicated very clearly under what circumstances a secret ballot would be preferable. And the Chief Justice's judgment actually indicated that this would be one of those particular circumstances where party members should be able to vote with their conscience without fear of reprisals afterwards. Secondly, she has her own presidential ambitions, apparently, and so she must be seen to side with the party officials who are likely to support her bid to be president of the party in December. And then lastly, she also has great pressure from the South African public because several members of the political party that she is a member of and who are members of parliament have been threatened. One member of parliament, Dr. Makosi Khoza, has had death threats given to her on her mobile phone, which the police are expected to investigate, and that as the Speaker of Parliament, Baleka Mbete, would have to protect. So the secret ballot issue from the minority parties is one set of pressures on the Speaker to, make the ballot secret. But she also has the Constitutional Court decision, which indicated that while sometimes a secret ballot isn't preferable because the voters need to know how their representatives voted on particular issues, party pressure on individuals to vote with the party against their conscience and against the oath of office they took to be loyal to the Republic and to the Constitution ought to guide her in her decision. So many people expect her to to choose to have the vote done in secrecy, but for the ANC nonetheless to keep voting against the motion to keep Jacob Zuma as president of the country.
Angelo Fick, we appreciate your comments and your analysis here on South African politics. Now, thank you very much for your analysis. Angelo Fick, the news analyst for ENCA.